Yes, 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 yes. Bam, bam. Turn that off. Hey. I see Maria. Love Delaplane. Gloria, so nice to see you showing up every single day. So good. And a bunch of new faces. This is good. I love, we're on day 3. For all of you watching the replay, I see you. I acknowledge you. Totally get it. We are on a Friday afternoon. And it's amazing when we really show up for ourselves and prioritize our well-being. So cheers to you. Cheers to you showing up in the room and being present. For everybody watching in the Facebook group, yes, yes, you get to take a pause. You get to prioritize yourself. And today we're going to be doing a deep dive into hormones, adrenals, and thyroid. Once again, if you're watching in Facebook, the link to register is there. It's free. And obviously, if you register, you get all the bonuses and the workbook and the concierge support and access to the replays and all the stuff. So, would love to see you come on in the room and join us over in Zoom if you'd like to register. And you can also stay in Facebook. You're welcome to comment and engage. I wanted to put the message, let me put this in Zoom. Looking at the chat. Yeah, I see Aaliyah saying, good to see you, Maria. So good. I, when we were getting ready, Aaliyah's like, so excited to see Maria again. I'm excited to bring you into the room in a little bit. Okay. Putting in the chat once again, the text message and the email, the phone number and the email. If at any point, those of you here in Zoom that have registered, if you have questions, text and or email anything. It can be, hey, can you relay this message to Mariah? Or here's my labs from the last year. Or for the Q&A, can you make sure she has this? Whatever it may be. Hey, what was it that she was saying on this thing and that thing? Just know that you've got support every step of the way. And between Aaliyah, Krista, and Raisa, they're all here to support you. So welcome back to all of you beautiful, magnificent women. And if you're here for the first day, I'm definitely seeing some new names and you didn't make it to day 1 or day 2, just know that you can. You can catch up on the replays. We'll make sure to keep the replays up. This is 7 days that I'm live every day. And then we'll keep the replays up for another 7 days. So you have time to go back, watch, catch up on anything that you missed, and just know that it's there and available for you. Today, we're diving into day 3 of this incredible journey together. And I'm proud of you. Did I say that enough? Did I say that yet? I am. I'm proud of how you're prioritizing yourself because it's important. And before we dive in, let's just make sure we handle a little bit of housekeeping. Make sure you have your workbook handy. If you don't have your workbook, please put workbook in the chat. If you don't have it printed up, it's all good. You're going to want pen and paper. If you do have it printed up, it is really nice to have. And my intention is you get to take notes. I have workbooks from past launches that I've done, as well as many I've attended of other people, and I still reference them sometimes. And sometimes it's really cool to look back at those notes that you took, when you're looking back a year from now, 2 years from now, from what you learned today. Okay. And it's really the space for you to capture reflections, action steps, and anything that resonates with you deeply. A lot of this, the last couple of days, has been giving you the space to understand for yourself what is going on. And then today we start really getting into solutions. Okay. If at any point you feel lost or need support, concierge team is here for you. Yep. Put in the chat, I'm ready. I'm ready to transform. How about that? I'm ready to transform. Can you put it in the chat? I'm ready to transform. I'm ready to transform. Whatever that might look like for you. It might be very different for each and every one of you. I'm ready to transform. I'm ready to transform. Yes. Yes. So let's take a moment and reflect on what we've covered so far. So day 1, we explored what vitality truly means and how to recognize the areas in your life where you've been stuck, right? And that assessment is pretty potent. You began to identify the patterns and beliefs that have been holding you back from feeling truly vibrant. Okay. Then day 2, we went deeper into how hormones play a foundational role in every aspect of your life, right? Energy, confidence, sleep, libido, vision, right? We brought Katie in. Katie talked about from a perspective of a dietitian, a little around gut health. Krista shared an amazing testimonial, and she's come in and she's here to support you every step of the way. And then for those of you wanting more clarity on your vision, more inner power, and to really unleash that feminine beast, we talked a lot about the foundation, right? That solid structure of the home, and gave the analogy of a home. Um, and then I opened up doors to Women's Vibrancy Accelerator Trifecta for those of you that really want time to be able to make decisions, and offered up some pretty spectacular bonuses that you have until February 5th to decide if you're going to be willing and daring enough to say a heck yeah for yourself, adding in that VIP day, adding in that extra call with me, literally like a $13,000 offer at only 4,200. Today, we're focusing on the three key systems that really influence your energy, your mood, your overall well being. And those that we're going to dive in today are your hormones, your thyroid, and your adrenal health. And these are really the control centers of your vitality. And when we can optimize them, everything in your life improves, right? Your relationships, your career, your creativity, your confidence, your vision, your boundary setting, how you engage in community, your presence with yourself, right? So we get to begin by just grounding ourselves in to really ask yourself again, why am I here? Why am I here? Why did I say yes to this? Some of you are like, what is this thing I registered for again? Pause. Why are you here? And I would love to see it in the chat. Either if you're clear on why you're here, put it in the chat. If you're unsure, you're welcome to say unsure and just say, where are you joining from? But if you are clear on why am I here? What is it that I'm wanting? And especially for those of you that have been here every day, that's becoming more and more clear to go, oh, wow, wow, that's why I'm here. This self-awareness just took on a whole new form, right? I'm ready to transform. I see you, Gloria. Yeah, why are you here? And where are you here from? Why are you here? And where are you here from? Let's see it in the chat. Why am I here? To learn. I'm still unsure. Idaho. I want to be great. Yeah, so good. Yeah, thank you for sharing. And for others, you're writing it down in your workbook. If you're watching the replay or you're on Facebook, you're welcome to email it into Concierge, text it. You're welcome to text at any point. We keep track of all of that. Clarity and path forward. Oh, so potent. Yes, Ola, nice to see you again. Clarity, it's so potent. So, for those of you who are new today, and especially if you're new kind of in quote unquote my space, I'm Maraya Brown. It's pronounced like the singer. And I'm a Yale trained certified nurse midwife. I'm also functional medicine trained. And over the years, I've had the privilege of working with thousands of women, helping them go from feeling overwhelmed and burnt out to vibrant, energized, deeply connected to their bodies and their lives. And today you're going to hear from Maria. She'll share her example of that. And I understand this journey because I've lived my own version of it as a mom of three, a wife, a CEO, the breadwinner in my home. I've faced the pressure of juggling it all, often at the expense of my own health, until I put my foot down and said no longer, right? So I've learned what it takes to really reclaim my energy and go, okay, when I learned the mainstream medicine approach, there were some gaps. Okay. Where can I shift in my own journey and how I support all the women that I serve all over the world to help all of us find our balance and prioritize ourselves in a way that really changes everything and then has the ripple effect in the world to our children, to our community, right? So today I'm here to midwife you through your next chapter, and we get to dive into the systems that will unlock your vitality, starting with hormones. So let's dig right in. Let me share screen. So if we dig right in, for those of you that don't have your workbook, this is all it is. So you'll have a pen and paper. Just write down thyroid, hormones, and adrenals, right? You're going to want space to be able to write it down. And then tomorrow we'll start going into what we consume is what we become, right? So just thyroid, hormones, and adrenals. I'm actually going to start with hormones. So if we start there and we go, All right, what are the hormones we want to talk about? Let's really focus on estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. So, estrogen. First, I want to go over what tests do you want to ask for? Number one is a test called the Dutch Plus test. It's looking through urine and saliva. So it stands for dried urine total comprehensive hormones. All right. I think it's the best test on the marketplace to really get a thorough look at what is going on with your estrogen, your progesterone, your testosterone. What is your body doing with those hormones? So I can see how your body is detoxifying or methylating. Yeah. And it's also giving me an idea of how your adrenals are doing. We'll talk about adrenals today. And then also something called your organic acids. You can also do blood or serum comprehensive hormone panel. And often, when you go to your providers, mainstream providers, they're generally ordering tests through blood. I think it is really important that you're clear on if you are a menstruating woman, what time in the month you're having that blood drawn. So, ideally, it's drawn between day 18 and 22 of your cycle. With the Dutch Plus, it's going to be that way. Okay. Now, if you are on contraception, your menstrual cycle is irregular, or you're beyond menopause and you're no longer bleeding at all, well, then there's some nuance to it, and we can just do it randomly. And we try to keep track of your menstrual tracker, so to speak, because obviously we're changing throughout the month. It's not just when we bleed, but it's also our creativity and our desire to be touched and our bloating and our gassiness, our confidence, our I mean, there's so many things that we can track. So for those of you, I did make a tracker. I call it a menstrual tracker, but it's really so much more because I've worked with so many clients over decades that they've tried the apps and nothing's really been comprehensive enough. So if anybody wants that tracker, just put tracker in the chat and we'll make sure someone from the team gives you the link to grab that. I have mine here actually. And what you do is you just keep track. Ideally, yeah, yes, Melissa, we can get it to you. Yes. You got this. I'm curious. You got this. What's your first name? So that way we know who to send it to. It's literally like just you're going to print it up. I say print up 3 copies so you can do it over 3 months. And you're just keeping track of things like healthy cravings and uterine cramps and excitement for work and constipation and diarrhea and overall health and hope for the future. And once you have that, we can go, oh, wow. Even if you're not bleeding regularly, it's still giving you the evidence to see where you are in your rhythmic nature. And if you are bleeding, then you're good to do. And Aaliyah says you're also welcome to email her too. So when we're looking at estrogen level, we can do through the Dutch Plus, we can do through serum. Okay. And what are some symptoms to look at? I've got jerky in my teeth. I had a bite right before we went on. Okay, if estrogen is too high, we're looking at heavy periods, clotty periods, painful periods, bloating, mood swings, tender breasts, fibrocystic breasts. If you've ever been told you had fibroids, if you're struggling with irritability or headaches, those are just some symptoms. I'm thinking, is there excess estrogen? Whereas low estrogen, I'm thinking hot flashes, night sweats, dryness down there. I can't say that word because I'm live streaming on Facebook right now. Low libido, brain fog, dry skin, joint pain, noticing being injury prone. Like, what is going on? I'm doing the same thing, but I keep hurting myself, especially tendons and ligaments. And new fine lines and wrinkles. Those are all going to be signs and symptoms of low estrogen. So I'm curious which one of you, if any of those symptoms just pop out at you and put it in the chat. What are we working with right now? Drop it in the chat. Any of that really jump out? No problem, Sarah. It's nice to know. I love that your name is You Got This. That's great. I'd love to call you You Got This. Low. Okay, so symptoms of low estrogen. Yeah, anybody else? Symptoms of high. That's my phone name. Yeah. No symptoms. Amazing. I love it. I love that you're here and there's no symptoms of estrogen. Great. We'll unpack thyroid and adrenals, and maybe you've got no symptoms of either of those either. And then we'll just celebrate all the way and go, all right, let's work on vision and confidence. Or maybe you're here just to learn and celebrate all the amazingness that's going on with your body. Cheers to that. Okay, so nutrition. If we're going to go, all right, still not sure. Okay, got it. It might be a mixture. So we're talking about nutrition. What are some just nutrition tips that can support estrogen balance? Number one is the cruciferous family, cruciferous veggies like broccoli, kale, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts. They are your friend, okay? Eating many of them, eating them often, they help the liver detox estrogen. Okay. If there's excess estrogen, helpful. Even if there's low estrogen, they have components in them that help your body send the estrogen out of the body in a more healthy way. Also, increasing fiber and obviously supporting the gut microbiome, right? We want to eliminate efficiently. And so Katie talked about that briefly yesterday. But once, if everybody says yes to the trifecta, we can always pop on a call. We can create a personalized plan. And then when we go into phase two, we start doing gut microbiome testing and really digging into what is underneath the hood. Okay. The other thing is phytoestrogens. So foods that are phyto, meaning plant, estrogen. We want to bring in phytoestrogen rich foods. The cool thing is about phytoestrogens is if your estrogen is too high, it's going to help bring it down. If your estrogen is too low, it's going to help bring it up. Cheers to that, right? So some examples would be ground flax. It's a rich source of many nutritional sources, not just phytoestrogens, but they're going to support hormonal balance. Make sure you buy it ground, keep it refrigerated, ideally organic. The other one is soy. If you're going to consume soy, make sure it's organic and non-GMO. It contains isoflavonoids, which mimic the healthy version of estrogen. Some people are like, "Oh, what do you mean? You like soy?" Yes, I do. Okay. Now, if you have a body that doesn't do well with soy, okay, then don't consume soy. But I think a lot of the time, soy and wheat both, it's not that they're necessarily bad. It's how they've been grown and produced, particularly in the United States. The body no longer identifies them as food. So you've got to make sure it's organic and non GMO. Okay. Katie mentioned yesterday, I also agree, gluten in general is not the best, right? And so there really aren't very many options of organic and non GMO gluten, but I'm going to stay focused on estrogen. Sesame seeds is another one. I'll answer that question, Regina. It's a great question. So sesame seeds packed once again with all sorts of nutrients, including healthy fats that naturally support estrogen levels. You can sprinkle them on salads. Some people do seed cycling. I've never tried, but if you want to try, that's part of what is happening with seed cycling is it's bringing in various seeds that promote certain hormones that should be high or low at different types of your times of your menstrual cycle. And yes, flax needs to be ground. If it's not ground, it is not digestible. Okay. You're just literally consuming the seeds and they come out the other end exactly the same. So if you're going to get the benefits of flax seeds, please make sure they're ground. I've been baking lately to remove commercial gluten-free breads. Flaxseed grounded has been my go-to in the mix. Amazing. Yep. And there's great gluten-free flours. You're welcome. Okay, chickpeas and lentils are another one with phytoestrogens. Okay, once again, isoflavonoids, they help stabilize blood sugars, and that's going to then help with hormone balance. Red clover is one. If you drink red clover tea throughout the day, it's a potent phytoestrogen. And then the last one that I want to highlight would be primrose oil. If you do supplemental primrose oil, talking estrogen, what are some things we want to remove? We want to limit alcohol. It slows estrogen metabolism and also spikes your estrogen levels in a really not so great way. And then let's move on. So, progesterone. Progesterone is considered the calming hormone. Okay. Best way to look at it is once again through the Dutch Plus test. And then you can order blood or serum progesterone testing, but make sure it's between day 18 and 22. If you have had your progesterone level tested and you're a menstruating woman, and it's not during that time period, and they tell you your progesterone is low and you need extra progesterone, it's supposed to be low during other times in the cycle. So, what are some symptoms of low progesterone? The ones I would really highlight would be anxiety, insomnia, trouble sleeping, PMS symptoms, bloating, um, crying easily, anxiety, irritability, irregular menstrual cycles, and also sometimes heavy periods. You're welcome. And then for nutritional support with progesterone, I would go to Magnesium-rich foods like dark chocolate, pumpkin seeds, spinach, right? You're also welcome to supplement with magnesium. There aren't a whole lot of supplements that I would just say most all women benefit from, but magnesium is one of those. The challenge is there's lots of different kinds of magnesium, so sometimes we want to cater it based on your specific scenario. You want to prioritize healthy fats like avocados, coconut oil, nice, healthy, quality, fatty fish. And the other thing that's interesting is healthy progesterone levels will help healthier testosterone levels, right? So we get the benefit of, and I'm going to talk about testosterone next. Sometimes with testosterone, it will be healthy, but the way our body's getting rid of it gives us some kind of nasty symptoms. So healthy progesterone is going to help kind of curb that with testosterone. And then you want to make sure that during your, if you are menstruating during the PMS week, no intermittent fasting, no pushing heavy weights, no keto. We really need healthy carbohydrates during that time. If you're beyond menopause, if you use the tracker, you'll find that you still have a cyclic nature, but it's a little bit less extreme. Regarding what to remove or reduce, talking progesterone, avoid processed foods, refined sugar, right? And that's for all hormones. They're going to disrupt your hormone balance. Okay. Some supplements that might be helpful specifically in the progesterone conversation. One of them is called Vitex, Vitex. It's also known as chaste tree berry. Vitex is specifically known to help support progesterone production naturally. If you're going to try it, you really want to try it for a full 3 months. And I think of Vitex as the one to help progesterone if you're still a menstruating woman. If you're beyond menopause, I lean a little bit more towards wild yam cream. And then magnesium, right? If you want to do magnesium glycinate, it's going to help with relaxation and improve sleep and tends to not have as much influence on our GI tract. So, curious with everybody that's on live, either in Facebook or on Zoom, if anxiety or trouble sleeping has been a struggle for you, would you just put either anxiety or trouble sleeping in the chat? I just want to know, like, for at least for those live, how many is that kind of a challenge? And if you're watching the replay, you're welcome to text or email it into to Aaliyah. So I have an idea. What are we working with? Yep, both. Okay. You're welcome for the suggestions. And does Vitex cause weight gain like many progesterones? Okay, progesterone and weight gain. I wouldn't say that most progesterones cause weight gain, but if you are going to talk progesterone, like from a bioidentical hormone perspective, or when you're going to prescriptions, we really want to make sure that it's progesterone or prometrium, that it's not MPA or a progestin. So there's a difference in progesterones. That's number one. Number two is sometimes progesterone can increase water retention. But generally, if you just stick with it, it tends to kind of recalibrate on its own. In my scenario, I'm 47, menstrual cycle starting to get kind of irregular. Sleep was drastically impacted. That like 2 to 4 a.m. wake up was not my adrenals. Often that's an adrenal wake up. In my scenario, was progesterone. And so when I started on bioidentical progesterone cream, it did lead to some weight gain on my side. And I go, well, for me, it doesn't necessarily impact my confidence. And when I'm getting quality sleep, I'm a much more fun person to be around. And I'm more available and potent to be of service and serve the women that I serve. So Vitex, it is going to increase progesterone levels. I would try it out for you. Don't change anything else if you're worried about weight gain specifically. But usually it's just going to be the water retention. So maybe try Vitex with some magnesium. Try Vitex and then add either lemon juice or apple cider vinegar to your water as you go throughout the day. Fit in a good sweat. Make sure you're still doing body movement, all of that stuff. You're welcome, Regina. And Gloria, I'm seeing yet both. Anyone else struggling with anxiety or sleep? And if it's not that, what waking up tired and cascading rhythm is off? Yeah, circadian rhythm, I'm guessing you mean. Yeah. Um, Thank you. And sometimes we think, like I just was seeing a client, she thought that she slept really well, but she's got brain fog all day and she's tired. And when we looked at her 24-hour cortisol curve, her cortisol is spiking right before bed. It's high in the middle of the night and it's high when she first wakes up. But she thinks that she's getting good enough sleep. But what that's telling me is while she's sleeping and should be resting and digesting, she's actually in fight, flight, freeze, or fawn the whole time. And that's what's causing the brain fog and the exhaustion. Okay, moving on to testosterone, because I'm going to move kind of quick. I've got a lot to cover for you guys. Um, Testosterone, once again, Dutch Plus test is going to be the best way to look at it. And you can also do free and total testosterone through blood. Symptoms of low testosterone: fatigue, low libido, decreased muscle mass, weight gain, thinning hair, and just lack of drive, lack of motivation in general. Whereas high testosterone or hyperandrogenism usually is linked to hirsutism, meaning excess hair like along the mustache, jawline, nipples, abdomen, sometimes acne or oily skin, hair thinning specifically around the scalp, irregular menstrual cycles, and insulin resistance or weight gain. I see you saying that's me. Yeah. So sometimes with excess testosterone, deepening of voice, mood swings, irritability. And then if you've ever been diagnosed with PCOS, we're thinking excess testosterone. So it's not just the thing I love about the Dutch Plus test is it's not just what's the total amount from a hormonal perspective, but what is your body doing with it? So specifically with testosterone and estrogen, those are the two big ones. We want to not only support the total levels, but help your body support get rid of them in a way that decreases the kind of yucky side effects. Okay, nutritional support for testosterone. We're thinking zinc-rich foods like oysters, pumpkin seeds, grass-fed beef, high protein diets, maca powder added to your smoothies, MACA, maca. Some of you might consider supplementing with DHEA. And in the Dutch Plus test, I'm able to see your DHEA levels. I could keep going on and on. There's a lot of possibilities, such as DIM or saw palmetto. But in your scenario, I would really like to kind of give it a more personalized plan. But I'm just trying to show you, wow, okay, there are all these symptoms that are associated with both of them. For healthy testosterone, what do we want to reduce or remove? Quality sleep is vital. So the number two times in our day that we're producing testosterone is either when we're getting deep sleep, at least 8 hours, or we're doing weight bearing exercise. Okay, so if you're worried about low testosterone, those are some things to tackle. Also, limiting alcohol can be helpful, and then limiting chronic stress. Okay, stress can do a number on all of the hormones. And so, curious just if energy or motivation has been a challenge for you, will you put that in the chat? Either energy or motivation. Is that real for anybody that's here? Um, just trying to get a feel for those that are alive. Is energy or motivate energy? Okay. Yes. Okay. Got it. Okay. Let's talk thyroid motivation. Got it. Okay. Helpful. Thyroid, it's the master regulator. Okay. This little gland that's here in our throat, both typically end of day. Okay. Got it. Helpful. Super helpful. Especially if we could look at your 24-hour cortisol curve, that'd be super helpful. Okay, so for tests, usually when you go into your provider, they will usually annually just do your basic blood work, a CBC, a CMP. They'll order what's called TSH. It's your thyroid stimulating hormone. And I went to Yale, I got a good education, and I was taught that once a year I order a woman's TSH with a reflex T4. Right. And then we can tell us something going on with her thyroid. The challenge is most labs will say normals like 0.45 to 4.5, but really I want to see it between 1 and 2. So then you have all the symptoms of a sluggish thyroid, which I'm going to walk you through. And you've gone to your provider, you've explained them, and they've ordered the test, and they're like, everything looks fine here. And I go, well, let me take a peek. Okay, we want to not only look at TSH, we also want to see a free T4, free like FREE, free T4, T as in Tom, number 4, free T3, reverse T3, and also your thyroid antibodies. Okay, so when I mentioned the trifecta yesterday and I said I'm covering the cost of your comprehensive thyroid panel, that includes all of them. Okay, it also includes the cost of your Dutch Plus test, so we can look at hormones and methylation and adrenals and thyroid and really have a true peek to go, could it be this all along? And it's just that providers are doing what they've been taught. It's not, we're not blaming them, but it's lacking, right? So, what are symptoms of thyroid imbalances? If your thyroid is sluggish, often fatigue, weight gain, thinning hair, brain fog, dry skin, or sometimes like little patchy areas on the skin, constipation. If you notice that you start losing the outside of your eyebrows, depression, irregular menstrual cycles, infertility, or a history of miscarriages, all of that, I'm thinking sluggish thyroid, and the thyroid and the adrenals are tightly knit. So if you've already been told that you have hypothyroidism or a sluggish thyroid, that tells me your adrenals have been tired for a long time and they were dismissed or missed, and then your thyroid crashed. That was my scenario. I'm drinking my kombucha. It's bubbly. Okay, so then hyperthyroidism is less common, but symptoms would be anxiety, weight loss, insomnia, a rapid heart rate. If you ever see someone where their eyes are like big and bulging and you can see the whites around, that's usually a sign of hyperthyroidism. What are some of the root causes of Hashimoto's or Graves'? Love that question. So when I talk about autoimmune conditions, and I did a great podcast episode on autoimmune conditions specifically. Aaliyah or Raisa, if you can find that episode, I'm guessing it's in the low hundreds, would be my guess. Maybe put it in the link. Grab the maybe the YouTube version. Anyway, Hashimoto's and Graves'. So if we're talking autoimmune, autoimmune conditions mean your body is fighting against itself. Now, underneath that, why is the body fighting against itself? Usually gut dysbiosis or elevated inflammation, high stress, nutritional deficiencies. Okay, I'll answer that question a little bit, Leah. So, autoimmune condition that's targeting the thyroid specifically is going to be Hashimoto's or Graves. Okay. So I go, all right, what's been going on with your adrenals? What's been going on with your gut health? And where are inflammatory markers? And likely they've been off for a while and just missed. So now the body is fighting against itself, creating an autoimmune condition that's specifically targeting the thyroid. Aaliyah, I asked for the podcast episode that I did on autoimmune conditions. I'm curious if you could find the YouTube version. So if you just do a search for Women's Vibrancy Code autoimmune. Yeah. And Gloria, I see that. I did an episode, and there's so much to talk about with autoimmune conditions. Thank you. Raisa found it. I appreciate that, Raisa. You're awesome. Okay. Nutrition to support thyroid. We want to think selenium. So, selenium rich foods like Brazil nuts. If you like Brazil nuts, eat 2 a day. That's for men too. And actually, it's helpful for prostate too. Sardines, if you like them, sunflower seeds. And really, you want to focus on prioritizing protein rich foods and healthy fats, right? They're going to help thyroid function. There's a whole lot underneath this. And if you enroll in the trifecta, I definitely have one of the modules that's just a deep dive on understanding thyroid, understanding what T4 is and what T3 is, and how the body works to optimally produce T4 and convert it to T3 to the usable form. And then, like I said, we really want our adrenal support that's tied to then thyroid support. Yeah, awesome. And then what do we want to reduce or remove? Reduce or remove gluten in an ideal world because it can trigger specifically thyroid related autoimmune issues like Hashimoto's, okay? And then supplements, if you don't want to eat Brazil nuts, you can supplement with selenium. Or ashwagandha is another one. Ashwagandha is an adaptogen. I'm going to talk a little bit more about adaptogens when we get into the adrenal section. But ashwagandha is one of those that's really known for supporting a sluggish thyroid, helping with blood sugar management, and helping to reduce sleep. So you can drink the ashwagandha in your adaptogen elixirs. You can take it supplementally. Hopefully, everybody has those adaptogen elixir recipes If you don't have them, just put recipes in the chat or email Aaliyah and say recipes, or text the number and say recipes. Maybe Raisa and Aaliyah, if you put the phone number and the email address underneath one more time, you can text recipes and they can send you the link to grab those adaptogen elixir recipes. And I'll talk about it when we dig into adrenals. Um, it's all going to go back to the gut, right? And like I said, trifecta is a 90-day deep dive into your hormones, your adrenals, and your thyroid as phase one. So we can look at what are we looking at with your adrenals and your hormones, right? Give you the foundational modules, the twice a month live Q&A, and then the one-on-one time with me and Katie. And then you have by February 5th, the added VIP day and the extra call with me. So we can really get that foundation in place. And then if you choose to go to phase two, then we're looking at gut microbiome testing and nervous system regulation and trauma release and all that. Okay. So curious, have you ever been told that your thyroid is fine even though you feel off? So if so, if you're like, huh, I was told my thyroid looks normal, but now that you're talking about it, maybe it's not. Put it in the chat. Say thyroid fine, or was told thyroid was normal, or thyroid, whatever. Just put that in the chat and let me know how many of you are we working with there that are at least here live. Thyroid. Okay. Thyroid. And if you're watching in Facebook, please comment there too. Hypothyroid here. Yeah. Okay. Told fine. Right. And so we go, fascinating. Even in my scenario, 2013, I was postpartum. I had a baby that never slept for more than an hour until he was 18 months old. I was tired. I had a goiter, meaning my thyroid was enlarged. You could see it in the mirror. I could feel it when I swallowed. Had an ultrasound of my thyroid. They said it's fine. Had thyroid labs drawn. They said it was fine. A year later, I told the story day one where I was like, my body hurts. I'm sad. I'm tired. Something is really wrong. I don't want to be touched. I've got rashes. And I was initially too afraid to ask for help. Perfectionism. I'm recovering perfectionist. And as the healthcare provider in the community, finally asked for help and luckily found a functional medicine provider who was able to look at, whoa, my adrenals and my thyroid had crashed. And so then it was my deep dive to go, wait a minute, what was missed here? Had I seen a provider that was looking at the labs through a different lens, was ordering different tests, what if I could have caught this a year, 2 years earlier, right? And then that kind of transformed my whole career and how I supported women. And I left the functional medicine practice and came online in 2018. Okay, so let's talk about adrenals. Adrenals, that's the stress response system. Okay, best test is not blood. Okay, if someone has told you that they've looked at your cortisol level through blood, that's just silly because all they're looking at is one point in time. Okay. Your adrenals are supposed to go along a normal curve. So, what we want to see is that 24-hour curve. And I think the best place to find that is a Dutch plus test, not a Dutch complete, a Dutch plus test. Can I ask if you take a prescription for your hypothyroid? Oh, great question. So, yes, I do. I'm on levothyroxine and I've played around with the dose up, down over the years based on other things that were happening for me while also addressing all the other stuff. Saliva test, you can do a 24-hour saliva test, yes. And with the Dutch Plus, the saliva version is what's collecting the adrenals as long as it's multiple points throughout the day. So ideally, when you first wake, 30 minutes, 60 minutes, afternoon, and before bed. Yeah. I was told I was low thyroid 10 years later. Endocrinologist said dismissively I was probably misdiagnosed. I cut my daily thyroid med levothyroxine in half. 3 days later, I was so sluggish, flat, and tired. Yeah, totally. Sounds like that was inaccurate. Like you get to feel spectacular. This is like, it's not just, oh, normal to feel tired and sluggish and flat and tired, Shanae. Absolutely. We get to, and we're lucky because you live in Oregon. So I've got a little bit more freedom with you if we do end up working together. Okay. So symptoms of adrenal fatigue are going to be exhaustion. That 2 to 4 a.m. wake up, where you wake up kind of feeling wired but tired, strong sugar cravings, strong salt cravings. Belly weight is specifically going to be associated with adrenals. Same with testosterone, to be honest. Brain fog, irritability, hair thinning, fatigue, right? I already mentioned exhaustion. You're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome. Nutritional support for adrenals, adding sea salt to your water, adding sea salt to the food. We need to replenish minerals. I did not say ionized table salt. I did say sea salt. Okay. So, yes, cheers to sea salt. Eating balanced meals with proteins, we really want to focus on keeping blood sugars steady throughout the day. For many of you, that means not pushing intermittent fasting. Eating healthy protein, fat, and fiber within waking, making sure you're drinking your adaptogen elixir throughout the day. So we're keeping you off of the blood sugar roller coaster. Think about it. If you're on the blood sugar roller coaster, your nervous system isn't feeling safe, right? I'm overfed. I have too much sugar. Why? Why do I have all this energy? Ooh, I'm underfed. I don't know when the next meal is going to come. It's literally feeling unsafe. So your body is unconsciously going into fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, and you're not even realizing it. Okay. So a lot with adrenals is, of course, stress reduction, stress management, mindset work, meditation, yoga, all of that. And keeping blood sugar steady is so, so, so important. So we want to limit the sugars. We also want to limit caffeine, specifically if you're needing caffeine in the afternoon because you're sluggish. Not only is it telling me we need to get to the root cause and actually address why you're having the afternoon slump, but also you're overstimulating the adrenals because caffeine is a diuretic. So it's actually making it worse. Okay. So, supplements that can support adrenals, I'm thinking vitamin C. But if you supplement with vitamin C, please make sure that it's liposomal. I'm not going to get into the science there, but just liposomal vitamin C, adaptogens. I'm seeing Gloria, she wants the adaptogen elixir recipe. Yeah, and you're welcome to also email Aaliyah recipes, please. I'm seeing that. Are you a prescriber? Yes. So, Shanae, I have my prescriptive authority and my DEA license in the state of Oregon as a nurse practitioner. Most of my clients are all over the world in multiple continents, and so I'm not prescribing for the majority of my of the women that I serve. Um, but yes, I am a prescriber in the state of Oregon. Adaptogen elixirs. But what I will say is, if you are not in Oregon, which most of my clients aren't, I get to help empower you with the education so that you can go and advocate for yourself. If we're going to start talking about bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, to say, here are the things to ask for. Here's the pharmacy to find. Here's how you find the pharmacy. Here's the dosing that might work for you. If we're advocating for thyroid support or adrenal support. And then when it comes to supplementation, Katie has an account with what's called Full Script. So when she sees you, she'll just pop personalized quality supplements into that full script cart. It's kind of like logging into Amazon and it's just already there in your cart. And then you can just check out and it's personalized for you. What do you think about adding to the water electrolytes throughout the day? Absolutely love it, especially if it's quality electrolytes. Yeah. Okay, adaptogens. Adaptogens help the body better adapt to stress. And Maria, I'm coming to you next. So there's lots of different adaptogens out there. We could do a deep dive a whole day just on adaptogens. When you grab the adaptogen elixir recipes, then what you're looking at is three components. You've got the adaptogen, a protein source, and a fat source. Add hot water, sweetener to taste, nut milk to taste. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Drink it all day long. In the morning, if you want to add it to your coffee, awesome. In the afternoon, we're trying to do caffeine free. Okay. Some mixes out there are Four Sigmatic, Mud Water, Anima Mundi. There's a lot of them. Rasa. I'm not a big fan of Rise. Brand of quality electrolytes. My favorite right now is Element or Elemental. I really like those, and I'm playing around with Prime right now. Yeah. So if you don't have the adaptogen elixirs, grab them. And Maria, you've already dialed in your adaptogen elixir recipes. Maybe we could ask about that. Let's bring Maria up, and then hopefully there'll be space at the end. And like I said, we have one day that's purely dedicated to Q&A. So bring all of these questions, and let's just like, I love being like a popcorn on the when you enroll in the trifecta, and we have these 2 live Q&As a month. I literally feel like a popcorn machine. Like there are so many questions. You get to ask them in advance. You get to pop on, and it's like we are covering every single topic you can imagine. And often it's like, whoa, I didn't even think to ask that question, but that was so cool. And I just learned. So, yes, bring all these questions there. Let's highlight Maria. There she is. Hi, you. Unmute yourself. Good.
Hello.
Good to see ya.
Good to see you. Always.
Okay. So Maria walked this journey. She walked it for a full year. She did the full Women's Vibrancy Code year-long program and then ended up wanting more. Thank you for being here. I appreciate your time. Can you
Absolutely.
remember when you first said yes? What was happening in your life then, before you joined the program, before you said yes?
A very deep, dark depression. Um, I was sleeping on the couch. I had no energy. I didn't want to really engage too much with my family, which was didn't feel good at all because I absolutely love and adore my kids. My marriage was on the brink of divorce. And, I was contemplating some pretty serious things. So,
Mm.
um, yeah, it was a scary time in my life. And I just knew that, you know, there had to be something out there to help bring me up out of this, or it was going to be some trouble, some problems.
Yeah. Well, I'm so grateful that you did say yes. And for those of you that are watching the replay, when you scroll down and look at all the testimonials, there's a great testimonial there from Maria, which is much longer. So you said yes. You enrolled in the year-long program. And what changed?
Well, really, honestly, that was like one of the best decisions in my adult life. I am so thankful I made that decision. It was hard to say yes. It was like that battle, like when you go buy a new car, when you have buyer's remorse sometimes. It's like, what did I just do? What did I, because I wasn't at that time, I was not prioritizing myself at all. Like I was not on the list. It was my kids, my husband, and it was like whatever they need, I'll take care of it. So I wasn't even on the list. So it was just a opportunity for me to say yes to myself. And I didn't know anything about like what was going on, how this was going to change it, but in my gut, that that voice that says yes, just say yes, you won't regret it. I'm going to get emotional. And it absolutely changed everything. To this day, like I still my adaptogen elixirs is like my go-to. I know if I start to feel a little bit moody, a little bit off, I up the phytoestrogen. I start putting extra, couple spoonfuls of that ground flax in my smoothie. So it's just everything about my life. It when people say 360, it's like you go right. I feel like you go back to the same spot. For me, it was like a 180. I got to see myself in this dark place, like kind of like how night and day on one side of the earth, it's sun is shining, the other side is dark. I got to go back onto the sunny side of life, and that's when things changed. For me, everybody gets something different out of this. So for me, it was the community, not feeling alone. I was like, I don't think I might have missed one call in the full year. And, at that time, it was, sorry about that. I'm on my phone. Um, at the time, I was doing morning calls and evening calls on Wednesday. Got to meet with Eva. We got to meet with the mindset coach. I still have my packet from when I did my, I guess orientation. I'm at a loss for words at this moment, but um, I still in the journal. And I look back to that time and sometimes I just pat myself on the back and just say, good job. You did it. Because I really honestly before that time I hadn't committed to anything really besides my family for longer than a year. So it was like I felt like if I can do that in a year, I can do amazing things no matter what. So I just have
Mhm.
great testimonies about even what I'm doing in my life right now. I'm just really super proud of myself because I said yes.
Tell us a little bit about that. So, because that's the thing is often women can share what changed. And it sounds like everything. I mean, I remember you lost 80 pounds, your marriage renewed, you found yourself again, you loved yourself again. I mean, like everything renewed. But then there's the ripple effect of, I talked
Mm,
about the 6 areas that keep a woman in fine, right? Our energy, our hormones, our libido, our confidence, our
hmm
community, and our vision. The long-term ripple effect of now who you're showing up as today when, you graduated more than a year ago.
hmm
So what's changed today? Like, can you give some examples of how does it continue to blossom and unfold even down the road?
Well, right now, I know I talked to Mariah many times. Like, what do I want to do when I grow up? Because I was a stay-at-home mom for so long, and I just got the dream job. I'm a family advocate, and I help other kids who were in the situation I was as a kid, a foster kid, a child who went through sexual abuse, neglect, and I get to hold their hands and help them through at one of the hardest times of their life. So
Wow.
for that, I would not have had the confidence at all to do what I'm doing right now if I hadn't taken the time to say yes to myself, build my confidence, build up myself. It reflects into my kids, it reflects into my family, it reflects now into my community. Now I get
Yeah.
to be a light to my community. And
Mm.
that is, I found my purpose. I found my calling. Like that right there is just, it's everything. So I
Yeah.
know some people have, found their dream job or they're, or where they're at, whatever it may be, whatever it may look like for you. I say
Mm.
yes to you for whatever time it takes to get that balance. Because I feel like even if I gain a little bit of weight or if I get sluggish and I don't have enough energy, I have the tools. I have the tools. I was given the tools. I was given the community. And now I have solid friendships where I didn't have that before. I have solid connections. It's just I'm a new person. I
Mm.
am truly my authentic, true self. And that to me,
Mm.
there's no dollar cost, no amount of money, no nothing that you can put on that.
Yep. I'm so proud. I'm so happy for you. I'm so proud of you. And also Krista shared it yesterday too. The the career shift when we really take care of ourselves and we address the foundation, then we get to start saying, well, wait a minute, who do I really want to be in the world?
Yeah,
And to do it with confidence and to both give and receive from community in a potent way. So proud of you.
thank you. I'm proud of me too.
Anything else you want to share just about the journey, what changed, what aspects of receiving from me and the team felt like the most potent or powerful? I love that you're still keeping in touch with a lot of the women from the community. It really
I
is.
do.
The deep friendships are created, particularly in the
Yeah.
year-long program. For the trifecta, there's definitely friendships that are built and there's community. But if you go through the trifecta and then you end up saying yes to the year-long, or maybe you're like, no, I just want to start with the year-long program, we can have that conversation. But it really allows the intimacy and the depth. And you didn't even come to a retreat either. This was all online for you.
All online. I still have that in my on my list that I'm going to do. So that is definitely going to happen.
Hmm.
um, I would say learning more about hormones and how they affect our body. That was life changing because that also I can share with my daughter. So those of you out there have daughters, nieces, mothers, it doesn't matter. Now I know I'm going through perimenopause. I know what to expect. I can track that. I can cycle it. Anytime I know that something's going on, I know I can reach out to Mariah and set aside an hour and get that, connection, get that answer, to
Yeah.
whatever question that I have. So it's a lifelong, I believe, connection that each one of us have decided that we're going to say, you know what, I want to be part of something amazing, something bright, something that is transforming women, like you said, across the globe. So I'm just thankful that I can also be part of that movement. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
I love you. Um, Yeah, and just for everybody to really hear, once you're an alumni and you've had a taste of all of the offerings, like Maria said, there was one point where she came in, she just wanted the group calls for another 6 months. And then if at any point she wants to come back and just have a one-on-one call with me or any of the team, it becomes available, right? And some
Yes.
go, I just want to, okay, now I started here. I just want to go down to the membership so that I have access to the twice a month Q&As and I get member pricing for the one-on-ones. Just know that there's lots of options. I'm one of those people that kind of like, once you're in, you're in. I don't like goodbyes. I love you, Maria. Anything else you want to add?
And also, too, when Mariah says once you're in, you're always in, I connected with her back in high school when I needed a friend the absolute most. So when she says once you're in, she's solid for that. And
I love you.
that's in closing. I love you.
Yeah, so much. Thank you for how you showed up for yourself
Thank you.
and really allowing the transformation to take place. It's been powerful and so fun to support you along the way. And I know Aaliyah shares in that too. All right, you're welcome to stay on. Thank you, thank you. All right, let's take that off. Spotlight. Voila. So good, right? Everybody say thank you to Maria. Put it in the chat. Thank you, Maria. Takes a lot of courage to pop on and share what's going on in your life. And yeah, yeah. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Maria. For those of you watching in Facebook, thank you, Maria. And if you're watching the replays, just send her love, send her support. Cheers to all the kids that you're going to be supporting with your version of you and that loving, confident, filled up. Yeah, I'm seeing lots of thank you, Maria. Um, okay, so reminder, Women's Vibrancy Accelerator Trifecta, functional medicine tests, personalized support, ongoing guidance with the twice a month Q&A, right? And then you have until February 5th if you want to say yes. I'm gifting the virtual VIP day. Even Maria, you want to come back in and just do the virtual VIP day? You can as an alumni. And you also receive that extra one-on-one call with me. So in the midst of 90 days, it's 2 calls with me, 1 call with Katie. I'm covering the cost of your Dutch Plus and the thyroid panel, right? And then you have access to the modules walking you through. I love what Maria said. What I heard was it wasn't just that I gave her a fish, I taught her how to fish. So she feels the empowerment with the foundational understanding and education. So now she's got that with her forever. She can teach her now clients, those kids, she can teach her daughters, right? So the modules to walk you through every step of the way. Like I said, $13,000 offer. I'm offering at 4,200. Any questions in the chat? And I love to end with a guided meditation. And I'll end there and make sure to come back tomorrow. All right, let me do a share screen. We'll show what we've got going on tomorrow. And then we'll close it out with a little guided meditation. Hopefully you've got a lot of notes here on thyroid hormones and adrenal. And then tomorrow we'll start digging into what we consume and detoxify is what we become. So this idea of consumption, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and detoxification, we'll be digging in there. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody tomorrow. If you're able to hop on live, if you'd rather watch the replay, that's good too. And you can do both. I mean, that's the beauty of offering something like this online. Come in whatever way it serves you. Okay, let me look in the chat. Trifecta link. Yeah, that would be great. Thank you, Aaliyah. Would you put that link in there? And I can probably find it too. Aaliyah, would you be able? Yeah, there we go. Raisa's got it in there. There's the link. Raisa, that's the incorrect link. It's got to have pause on the end because they've got the pause specials, the pause pricing. Aaliyah, would you pop it in? Bow chicka bow wow. I love technology. Here, I've got it. Yes, over the weekend as well. I am live every day. Here, steady for everyone here. This is the correct link. Because I want to make sure you guys are attending pause so you get those extra benefits of the VIP day and the extra one-on-one with me. Yep. Okay. And I normally charge 5,500 for that offer. Okay. Anything else? Any other questions? So live and okay, so we've got tomorrow is consumption and detoxification, right? Go back, watch replays all you want, right? We unpacked all the fine stuff. And then day 4, we go into detoxification, and then on Sunday will be the live Q&A. So that's really where we start to getting into creating a personalized plan for more energy, stronger libido, and answers to all the pause questions. So please plan to pop on live for the Q&A. Watching the replay, you're still welcome to, but it's if you can be on live, that's when you actually get to ask your questions. And make sure you've got questions. If you have them submitted up front and you're not going to be able to make it, oh, this is good. For everybody in Facebook, register first, then you have access to concierge support. For everyone watching the replay, if you have questions that you would like answered on the live Q&A and for some reason you can't make it live, totally get it. I have a full life too. Make sure you email them to Aaliyah. She'll keep track of it and I'll have all of the pre-asked questions. Or if you're someone that's planning on being on live and you just want to make sure you don't forget them or you want to submit them in advance, you're welcome to text them or email them in advance. Thank you. Raisa just put the phone number and the email. Send in your questions in advance. Sunday, 3 p.m. Pacific. Do the conversion wherever you are in the world, and then you can pop on. It will be live Q&A. If you want lab review, you can send that in to Leah in advance. I'll share screen. Just know that others are going to see it as long as you're comfortable with that. We've got the live Q&A. It will be recorded and it will be on the replay page. Good. And then we'll continue to go. By February 5th, you can make your decision about the trifecta with these added bonuses. And then I'll keep the replays up for another week for everybody to go back and just, make sure that you get to fully consume all the education that's there. And sometimes you really need more time to make a decision, and just know that the extra added of the VIP day and the one-on-one call and the discounted pricing that goes away. But just, oh, on the replay page, book a call with me. If you do have any questions or you're like, what's this? What's that? What about this? Can we add in a GI map? Whatever it may be, just book a call. I've got my schedule open this next week specifically for all of you, and let's have a chat. Good? Anything else before we go? We get to end it. You're welcome, Gloria. My pleasure. It's nice to have you here. If you're in the space to be able to be in full receivership and drop down for a few minutes, I get it. Life is full, and we can all set aside time. Okay. Life can wait. Children can wait. Yeah. Thank you, Raisa, for putting the replay page in there. So just find a comfortable position. Allow yourself to close your eyes. Whether you're sitting or lying, take a deep breath in. Fill your body. Fresh, clean air through your nose. And just fill it and hold. And then breathe out through your mouth. And just let everything melt. You just learned a lot. I covered a lot of ground. And just let it all settle into your body. You don't have to keep it all, but some of it is going to stick. Some of it was exactly what you needed to hear today. Maybe it was even just being there to hear Maria share her story. So close your eyes and relax your eyebrows, relax your jaw, rest your tongue on the roof of your mouth, relax your shoulders, relax your belly, let it go loose. Feel your feet on the ground if your feet are touching the ground. And just let it go. Let the tension in your body melt away. And know that the earth is solid and is here supporting you, right? As if the very ground beneath you is holding you with care. And just feel that care. Feel the care of my voice. Feel the care of all of us that are here. We can send love to ourselves, send love to one another, and take another deep breath in. And this time, imagine you are breathing in clarity. Breathe in confidence and exhale. Take another deep breath and breathe in the sense of possibility, that anything could be possible. No time, energy, or money can get in the way, and it's all possible. Miracles happen every day. And breathe in that sense of possibility. And as you exhale, release any doubts, Let go of fears, let go of resistance that may be lingering within you. And breathe in the light and let the darkness and let the heaviness go. If you've been surrounded by community where you go, where's the hope? I want to surround myself by others that are feeling spectacular and growing and to believe in possibility. Absolutely, it's all around me. And I promise you it's there. Breathe it in as a possibility and breathe out the doubt and let your body relax even deeper. I want you to imagine yourself standing at a doorway. It's a beautiful doorway, strong, inviting, glowing with light. It's pulsing with light. And this doorway represents the moment you say yes to yourself. You say yes to your vitality and your health. Yes to stepping into the most vibrant version of you. And take a moment and just feel the anticipation as you reach for the handle. Notice the warmth of the light spilling through the doorway, welcoming you. And as you open the door, turn the doorknob, open it up, and step through, you feel an immediate shift in your body. Imagine a wave of energy flowing through you, gentle yet powerful. And this energy moves from your head to your toes, filling you with vitality and a sense of alignment. Your mind feels clear, more clear than it's felt in years. Your body feels lighter and stronger and free, free of any of the burdens you've been carrying. And you feel truly connected to yourself for the first time in a long time. More connected, more deeply connected, more present. And now picture yourself sitting with me and the team, supported, seen, understood. There's no guesswork anymore. Not searching for answers on your own, up at night doing Google searches or leaving another doctor's appointment feeling dismissed. Together, we've uncovered the root causes of your symptoms, and your hormones are balanced and spectacular, and your thyroid is thriving, and your adrenals are restored. And imagine receiving personalized support that feels tailored to your needs, a roadmap that's just for you. Every step feels intentional and purposeful and aligned. And in this space, you feel empowered. You feel hopeful. And you know you're not alone. And now, envision the ripple effect of this transformation. Picture yourself waking up in the morning after a deep, restful sleep. You stretch and feel energized and ready for the day. You look in the mirror, and for the first time in years, you recognize the woman staring back at you. You have clarity of vision and purpose, and you're taking steps towards your future that feels exciting. And you look in the mirror and you say, she's radiant. She's confident. She's alive. She's shining. She has that unmistakable glow that I used to see other women walking into the room and going, oh, I want what she has. And now you get to look at yourself and you go, she's got it. I've got it. See yourself. See yourself moving through the day with ease and joy. You feel present with your family, laughing with your children, your grandchildren, deeply connected with your partner. Your relationships feel lighter and more fulfilling. Your creativity flows effortlessly. You dream bigger and you see opportunities and you have the energy to really pursue them. And now picture yourself stepping into a room filled with others at work, in your community, at your church, a family reunion with friends, and you carry yourself with unshakable confidence. People are drawn to your energy, your vibrancy, your presence, not because of the fashion or the handbag or the haircut, because of your energy and your presence. You are magnetic and radiant and fully expressed. And you're no longer just surviving, you're thriving. And take a moment to imagine the future you're creating. 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now. Maria shares 2 years from now. And see how this decision to say yes ripples out into every area of your life, your health, your relationships, your career, your happiness, your confidence, your community, both in how you give to it and receive from it. Notice how this version of you inspires those around you, your children, your partner, your husband, your friends. Your transformation becomes an invitation for others to step into their own vitality. You give them permission to prioritize themselves as well. Because if she can, I can. And breathe deeply. Let this vision settle into your heart. Whisper to yourself, I am worthy of this. I am worthy of clarity, of support, of transformation and vitality. I'm ready to say yes to myself. And now slowly begin to return to this present moment. Allow yourself to wiggle your fingers and toes. Feel the surface beneath you. Take one more deep breath in and through your nose and exhale through your mouth. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes. And I say to you, welcome back. This is your time. This is your life. This is your moment to step into the vibrant, thriving version of you that you deserve to be. And so I'm so grateful that you are here for yourself. And I'm so looking forward to the rest of Pause with you. And hopefully, it's just the beginning. And me and the team look forward to being able to embrace you and support you every step of the way. And I congratulate you in advance for saying a big heck yeah to yourself. And with that, see you tomorrow, 3 p.m. Pacific. If you're watching in Facebook, please register. The link is in the description. Happy to have you. And big love to everybody. Ciao, ciao.